9 2/3 years, Larry Campbell was my father-in-law. During that time, we had a very good friendship. Here's a little stories about the things we did. We used to go garage sailing. We would get up early on Saturday mornings, and he would have a whole list from the newspapers and the merchantette. We'd go out garage sales and yard sales, and had a lot of fun together, and went to flea markets, and had a lot of enjoyable times getting out there and going to these garage sales. And then I remember one time he took me down to his shed and started getting me doing some work down there. I forget what we was doing, painting or something. He would get you painting, and then he would say he had to go to the bathroom or something, and he wouldn't come back for a long time there. He just let you keep working. And he just had to get you started. Then he'd go away and probably was watching TV, or who knows what. As long as he had you started, he didn't really need to come back until later on to check and make sure you kept up the good work while he was gone. That's just the way he was there. And he was kind of like an instigating kind of person. He always would, like, if it seemed boring, he would always instigate to get some kind of humor started. He was always he was a stir of laughter, basically. He always had to prod you into some kind of, just making it interesting and funny. It's just the way he was. And good examples of this was, at one point I was a member of the Knights of Columbus, and Larry was a Knights of Columbus member, and he we'd always go on these degree teams and go out there to I guess to get people into going high. I believe it was, if I remember right, it was to get into the higher parts of the degrees that we had, a second degree or something like that. And they had to go through some kind of a test, which is kind of a secret test. But anyhow, Larry always had to make things fun. He always had to he always had to instigate that laughter among you. If it wasn't for what he did, it probably would have been boring. He always had to bring out the laughter side of everything. Another thing we always did, we always went fishing a lot. We'd go down there to the dam, down there, on the south side of the dam, down there in Yorkville, and had a lot of good times out there fishing, and a lot of memories. And I have to admit that all the fishing secrets that I have, I learned from him. He taught me how to catch the big fish. One example of this is one time we were down there fishing, and there was a bunch of people around us. It's kind of like people come to fish and they'll see you there, so they'll go down a little ways and set up their little camp, and they'll be out there fishing. Well, these people were down there fishing, and they kept catching a bunch of them, but boy, they were little guppies or something. Like bluegill or something like that. Well, Larry had a secret on how to catch big fish. You had to be patient and everything, and you might not catch as many, but when you'd pull them in, you'd pull the big one in. It'd always be these big 26-inch carp and great big catfish, stuff like that. That's the way he fished, and he taught me how to be the same way. You don't want no little minnows. You want the big daddy of the fish, and he knew how to do it. And we had a lot of great fun down there, joking around and fishing and everything. That was really great. He always was a comedian. One time we were riding in his old van. He had that green Dodge van he called Nellie. And this is back when cell phones were not popular. This is back when, mostly doctors and lawyers had cell phones. Most normal people didn't have cell phones. Not very many. Well, we're driving along in the van, and he, pulled up there beside some rich person, and they were sitting there on their phone. And those were the phones that had the cords that were in the bag or whatever. This rich guy's like talking on his phone. Well, we did a lot of garage sale and stuff, so Larry reached down and he had a phone that he had bought at a garage sale. It was one of them old black ones with the cord on it. Just a regular phone like you'd have in your house. It had the little spin dial on it. And he picked that phone up and he started talking on it, and that lawyer or doctor, whatever that rich person was, looked over there, and they looked with all shocked, because he had a telephone just like he did, And he always liked to do funny things like that. He was a character. You can always remember how he'd always instigate fun and laughter. Always had to do something to kind of, stir up some kind of, funny excitement and everything. He was a very humorous, fun-loving person, and it was always a joy to be around. We went on a lot of fishing trips and stuff, even far away. I remember me, him, and Bill Merritt went up there to some lake up northeast, up there, west of Youngstown. We went to a lake out there. Not very far from Deerfield, Ohio, and we went up there, and heck, we were fishing out in the thunderstorms, and then I remember we all went and ate at that little Circle restaurant there in Deerfield, and we had a really good time that time. So, at one point, me and Larry was very good friends, you could say. We definitely had a good time together. So, and years later, I, always missed all the fun things that we went out and did, and going out and shopping. He'd always take me out to Farmore and all those other stores. We had a lot of good times there. So, we're gonna miss you, Larry. Rest in peace.